Hello my friends and welcome to part 182 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Let's Play series. Okay, so I'll be going back to the solo mode in this video. I won't be like going over the festivals anymore. I was able to get both of them done, get all the missions done, get all the rewards, including the titles at the very end, so that was pretty cool. At least for my main account here, so that's very good. I'm glad about that. Here, I'll put down the verse. Remember, you can search it. I mean, I guess I can just say what. I don't know. If you really care, it's the English Standard Version. That like is the translation I'm going to be looking at. Always using U version, by the way. Looks like no news, so I won't have to be doing that, so that's good. Oh yeah, and before I go into solo mode, I'm gonna change up the mates and stuff so it's more fitting. And it doesn't matter. I don't really care too much about the icon. Although maybe this can be changed a little bit. Maybe gold. And then yeah, tile's fine. I never really cared too much about that. Pot of Greed, which there is a reason for that. I'll also be discussing that. Oh yeah, it's a 6 Samurai solo mode today, so hopefully some of you are excited about that one. I have some real special duels in mind for this. They're gonna be longer though, so I think I'm just gonna stick to one duel each episode and just make the 6 Samurai solo mode my deck 3-parter. Hopefully hopefully you're all okay with that. I'll just do that. I guess I can do that one, yeah. Not really unnecessarily a good wallpaper for this, but that's okay because you're not really going to be seeing the wallpaper very much anyway. So here we go. Let's go into the 6 Samurai. It's the Warriors of Yore. I completed the other one. Yeah, and this is pretty fun. And I do want to say and like luckily these are all mostly the same except with just a few notable changes, and it's mostly just 6 Samurai pure with a few notable changes, so I probably won't have to be like going too much into it. So what I'll do here is I'll say 3 minutes will be here, what was the first one? Oh, I think it's this one that I'm doing first. So, 6 Samurai deck out. Deck talk. Deck overview. There. Okay, so here's the first one. I get more orbs, which I mean, even though I unlocked all the gates that are technically needed to unlock so far, there might be more, there will be more gates in the future, so it's still good to get orbs just to ready myself for the future. So, it might not seem like that of a prize right now, but I'm investing for the future, basically. Oh yeah, and I found out that like mostly it's the last my deck battle that like gives the gems. It's pretty much always 200 gems, but there's like one weird gate at least where like where it's not the very last battle, it's the battle before it that gives 100 gems for Lona and 100 gems for my deck. So that's kind of weird. Like they didn't really follow that with everything, but they mostly did. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. Anyway, here's the deck. Yeah, mostly 6 Samurai. I would say like the important cards here are like Xian is definitely really important. Like, a lot of these are pretty important, though. Like, they're gonna help make sure that the loop's going and going, which is basically the most important thing. And that's why I'm trying to put as many, counter cards as possible. Of course, with just one of the Temple of the Six, because I'm only ever allowed to have one field spell in the field anyway, so it wouldn't really do much help if I had more than one. Yeah, Sheehan Squire is an important one. I'll go over why this is important afterwards. Secret Six Samurai Fuma. Fire Flint Lady. This is just to, like, help, like, just act as another special summon. Because, fortunately, the Battle Shogun only requires one. It only requires one, Six Samurai, and the other one can just be any random warrior. So this one can just special summon itself. I'm probably never gonna be sending it to the graveyard, but I guess that's cool as well. And the Max C is mostly just used for, like, extra draw power. I just decided to put that in because there wasn't, like, a ton of good draw spells I want to play, so I decided to put in Max C. Legend of Six Samurai Kageki. Yeah, this is pretty much standard Six Samurai stuff. I'm probably not really using this a ton, but I guess it's there. Like, it can be useful sometimes. Getting extra special summoning power. Not that I really need it. Kaizen. This is one of the more important ones, though, definitely. Because not really that important. Legendary Secret of Six Samurai just can act as sort of another special summon, but Kaizen is definitely just better because it doesn't have, like, that activation condition that this has. This is pretty much only one special summon a turn. But it can still be useful to get my plays started. Grandmaster, of course, kind of the same as Kaizen. But I really only need one because, like, once I get my plays going, I probably am just sticking with Kaizen. Because I don't have to worry about, like, this one, the only thing that sucks about this one is that, like, if I already have a Grandmaster, I can't special summon another one, but this one doesn't care if there's already a Kaizen. Anyway, I mean, maybe I could get rid of something for an extra Grandmaster, but I don't think it's gonna mess me up a lot having just one of him. I do technically have two or three, but I'm definitely not playing all three. Monster Reborn help gets extra special summoning. Upstart for draw, like, there's a lot of draw and searching. I'll explain why. Sheehan Spy, this is an important card for my strategy. 1-for-1 for special summoning out the Tuna, which is pretty important. I want to try to get out the Synchro plan as fast as I can. Sheehan Smoke Signal. Unfortunately, it's only level 3 or lower, so it won't really be helping much with getting out the Kaizen or the Grandmaster. But I can still, like, get out some other useful cards. One Day, of course, because I'm not caring about, I just want the draw. I don't care. I'm not trying to win via combat. Technically, since I'm not trying to win via combat, I could technically be playing the Runics as the Runic engine in here as well, but I don't know. I'd rather just, I wasn't really thinking about that, and this, I think the space is kind of tight. I would have to remove a lot of the Six Samurai stuff, and I don't really want to do that. Because there's kind of a lot to the Runic engine. And plus, that kind of got hit quite a bit as well. Tempo the 6. Good card. Yeah, like, I just want as many Bushido placing Bushido counters on the field as possible, which is why I'm also playing 3 of the United and 3 of the Dojo. I'm probably not using the effects very much unless I absolutely have to. This is mostly so I have more cards to get Bushido counters. Basically to fuel Gateway, because this because eventually I'm gonna need a ton of counters. So yeah, and then these, I'm probably never going to Raihan. It's gonna be kind of difficult. Mostly I'm just focused on looping through Shien and Bao Shogun. Bring out Bao Shogun first to get out Gateway if I don't already have it, or maybe one of my other Bushido counter cards to have another one on the field. And then after Bao Shogun, I'm trying to go into, probably trying to go into Hyper Librarian, but I might need to get a few counters first before I do that. But mostly trying to go into Hyper Librarian and then get pretty much infinite draw of 6 Samurai until I get the Shien Spy. And then once I have the Shien Spy, I can give control of TG Hyper Librarian to my opponent. At first, I was thinking of playing something like Gold Moon Coin to give them the Max C and hopefully they use it. But the only problem with that is it's not that my opponent's smart enough to know not to use it when I'm special summoning, when I can just loop through special summons to infinity. But they won't use it because it's the same reason why they wouldn't use the Valence. It's because my opponent isn't programmed to use Max C, because this is a AI that doesn't play Max C. So if the specific AI doesn't play Max C, they're not gonna know how to use it. I'm not sure if the same goes if I was to give them one of the 6 Samurais. They might know how to use it. It might know how to normal summon a Max C and maybe use that for a single play or something. But actually activating it to get the draw, they're not gonna know how to do that. So yeah, that's the only problem if you try to give them stuff. They just don't use it. Which is good if you want to play Valence to get them. That might be one of the best ways to kind of cheese the opponent, knowing that they're never going to use the Valence field spells. And the Valence field spells are a lot better when only you're using it. Not that it really matters, but I thought that is kind of cool. So yeah, basically the lesson here is AI is kind of dumb, and I don't know why people are worried that AI is going to take over the world. I don't think so. AI is pretty dumb, and they prove it and AI proves it all the time. So I'm not too worried about it. Really, AI is only as smart as the people who program them. So if it's it's gonna be anyone's fault if they take over the world. It's gonna be the fault of the programmers. That's my opinion. I think it's a pretty good one. You can let me know if you disagree, but that's what I'm going with. Yeah, so Shien Spy, pretty important. But luckily with Hyper Librarian, this isn't a May. Anytime it's not a May, which means they have to use it simply just being face up on the field, that means they're not going to have a choice. They have to activate it. There's no question. They're going to be decking out using the Hyper Librarian. Kind of just a different form of Max C in a way. Although this requires me to have the Synchro spam going, which I pretty much want to be anyway. By the time I reach a Shien Spy, I probably have the Synchro spam going, unless I got lucky enough to draw in one of my first few cards. But yeah. Technically, another thing you could do if you have excess tokens to make, what I can do to make it a little bit faster is just add random 6 Samurai from my deck to my hand. But I'm not too worried about this. This is just mostly to keep my loop going. The only downside is, if you look, there's no Shien 6 Samurai. There's no 6 Samurai that's both a Shien and a tuner. So, and I already looked at it. All the tuner 6 Samurais don't special themselves as nicely as Kaizen or Grandmaster does. So that is really unfortunate. Maybe they'll add something like that later on. Or maybe there's a reason they don't have that. Maybe they're worried that TJ Hyper Librarian would become way too good at that point. Maybe that's the reason. They want to make it harder to actually get the Hyper Librarian draw looping. Not that it can't be stopped, but that may be the reason why. But yeah, if you look, there's no 6 Samurai that also is a Shien except for this guy, or the Synchro. But I'm not really trying to special summon those out of the graveyard with Gateway because they don't count as a tuner. I need a tuner. That's what I need. So that's why this guy, at least playing one of him, is very important to me. Because otherwise, my infinite synchro strategy wouldn't work. And that's why I need a whole bunch of counters. And if I have enough gaming counters, like basically 1, 2, 3, 4... the temple 5, and then maybe one more. If I have like gaining 6 counters every time I 6 Samurai special summon, I should be able to keep the loop going to infinity. Of course, it doesn't matter too much if like I have to pass turn because my opponent's probably not really setting up much defense right away anyway. Maybe Shien, but luckily Shien can only counter activated spells or traps, so maybe I can just bait them out. It's a lot easier to bait out the AI because normally they just do it on the very first spell I activate. So if I just waste on an upstart when I already have kind of loop going, I don't have to worry about them countering one of my Bushido cards. And then yeah, just trust me. There's no I already took a good look. There's no if I'm wrong, you can let me know, but pretty sure there's no Shien 6 Samurai Tuna monster. If there was, at least every time I special summoned out of the graveyard with the 6 counters effect, I would be able to put on counters at least to kind of recoup it. But as it stands, if I use up the 6 counters on Shien Squire, I don't get a counter for that. So this is just basically I'm using up 6 counters and not getting anything in return except a Synchro summon. But if I'm going into a Synchro right away, it's not too bad. I just need then I need to use up more counters, getting the Krizon back and maybe replenishing my Shien, which I'm playing 3. So that you can technically just play 2, and that should be good enough. But yeah, 2 Battle Shoguns is really important because you need to have one on the field, and you want one in the graveyard to eventually keep looping into another Battle Shogun, because this is really your only 6 Samurai link. So that's pretty much a main importance. And it does still get Bushido counters without being. So this is another one. So technically you only need what I think the field spell plus 3 of these Bushido counter cards, including the Gateway, and the Battle Shogun can kind of cover you for one of them. So yeah, and the rest of the extra deck doesn't really matter too much. This draws a card, but it doesn't count as 6 Samurai, so I think I'd much rather just do the loop with TG, Hyper, and Legendary 6 Samurai Shien, just to make sure I can actually get the loop. Not that it really matters if I pass turn again, but if I pass too many turns, then I'm just giving my opponent more chances to react. I don't really want to do that, especially if they can eventually bring out multiples of the Shiens, because every one can just negate a different spell or trap activation. Yeah, so that's basically the deck right there. I'm just gonna say 20 minutes will be 6 Samurai. 6 Samurai deck out. Duel. So hopefully I explained that well enough. Try not to go too long. But yeah, I don't think there's much to explain. I think it's pretty simplistic. So now I'll go into Duel. And now I know a good strategy too if it ever goes not live. I just click on the live to skip ahead to live broadcast, which is pretty nice. Anyway, let's go into this for some orbs. This should be pretty fun. It'll probably take a little bit. Yeah, see, it doesn't really matter if I'm going first or second against the AI. They're probably not going to really do much anyway. Especially this first opponent, which is why I'm thinking this might be the hardest one. I don't know. I think they're all about the same level of like these are definitely not competitive. I'm just trying to have some fun with this gate, trying to show off the full loop nature of the 6 Samurai. Another nice looping deck that I may appreciate a solo mode for, but I probably wouldn't like actually. Yeah, I want that is a little bit harder, I think, to manage. Is the flower cardians. But the only downside of the flower cardians is that you can't really afford to put a non-engine into flower cardians, or else it becomes really or else the loop of the flower cardians becomes really inconsistent. But I wouldn't mind if we got a flower cardian solo mode gate. Oh, I guess I could show you the flower cardian replay. It was kind of funny. My opponent was doing the full flower cardian loop. I'm not actually. I think it probably went away by now. But I guess if it's still there, I can show you. It was kind of funny. And then at the very end, my opponent like ran out of time. That's usually how it is. I was kind of hoping for it, so I kind of stuck to it. I like negated something, but the thing about flower cons is I mean, maybe I should just negate one of the synchros, but yeah, flower cons are very good at like being able to like just keep looping despite like one negate because like of the way they work. But of course, it's very easy to run out of time with them. But I like their looping potential, and kind of the same way with the 6 Samurai looping potential. The fun thing about those two decks is like, I wonder how it would be if you went to a tournament with the whole plan to just loop a whole bunch, with either Flower Guardians or 6 Samurai, if you can do that. I think you should be able to still do that with the TCG. Yeah, like basically go to a tournament and just like basically like, it's not really stalling because you're doing different plays, like, or like maybe like kind of the same sort of play. I don't think it's considered stalling, so I think you technically just like keep doing that loop. It's I think it's one of the few ways you can like technically like kind of stall without actually like it counting at slow play. And so you just go until hopefully no hand traps, but you just go until until there's almost out of time, and then maybe you just play like a single burn spell, and then you win because I think it's till the end of the turn now, so you basically just win because you burned your opponent just a little bit and your life points are still 8,000. Sure, your opponent can stop your loops by like through maybe some other hand traps, like maybe Duel, like what would probably be the best one for Flower Connons. But I don't know how many people are playing Duel. Of course, Nibiru might be a really good one too for Flower Cons. I don't know. They might still be able to loop. The best one may be Duel for Flower Cons. But yeah, if you can pull that off, that does seem kind of fun. Anyway, I definitely need to put out the... Oh, I should have done that. Well, this might be okay, because now I can add the... It does allow me to add the tuner at least, which is nice. But I don't know if I really want the tuner. I don't think I really need the tuna. I'm not sure if this is... But I'm still gonna keep going because... At least I have the Shein Spy right away too. This also just adds a... Yeah, so it can't be so I can't get Kaizen with it. Oh, no cards? Whatever, it should be fine. Guess I'll just do this one. Want to keep the Shein Spy. Gateway, I guess. What's nice about the Bushido counters is that it's whenever anyone, so I'm definitely getting the full use out of these. Hi, can you show me also how to build a Labyrinth deck? The new one? I haven't really tried that, but if you look on Master Meta, you can like search it up on Google, like Labyrinth deck Master Meta. You should be able to find one of that. I can actually give you the link here. And they do a pretty good job like telling the ratios. And sometimes there's guides, but not all the time. Are you talking about the Labyrinth with the the ones that the twins played, or the trap-based Labyrinth deck? Hold on. It's showing me the Labyrinth. Hold on. Yeah, because there are kind of two Labyrinth decks now. Man. Trap Ace, the meta? Oh, yeah. That... Well, this one should be a good guide then. Yeah. This like goes over the ratios that a lot of people are playing. And there's even a guide here. There's actually a few guides. Oh man, there's quite a few guides with this. And they're all decent, fairly recent. Yeah. Yeah, like if you scroll down a little bit, you should also see guides on the Labyrinth. On this Labyrinth deck as well. I think that should really help. That's usually what I like to do whenever I'm trying to build a new deck and I'm not exactly sure of the ratios. That's what I use a lot to get these like solo mode decks, making sure that they have pretty good ratios. Maybe not the best ratios, like because I might like try to like substitute a little bit so I don't have to craft all the really expensive cards, but mostly good ratios. Anyway, I should probably save the link because I can only do the discard once per turn. Yeah, so I'm just gonna... Only downside is that if they simply just... I'm still gonna do it. Hopefully I draw another 6 samurai, otherwise I can just retry. That's unfortunate I wasn't able to add anything with the Kazal. Oh, thanks. I look also for sides, but they were not that good. But that looks okay. Yeah, it should be good. These are like what based on like what the like top players, the people are getting who are getting a lot of like the highest rankings. Like a lot of them, if you look, like they even took based off of a few of like tournament winning decks as well, which may not exactly be pan out exactly like it should, because those are with side. But like a lot of the other ones are like based on like people who reach Master 1 rank. So the only downside is kind of like the ads, but like it helps keep it free. And it's not like a lot of the good features are like, there are some features that are locked, but mostly all the good stuff is there without needing a subscription. Yeah, you're welcome, Melik. Good luck on your Labyrinth deck. Okay, thanks. I'm gonna stop building. Good luck. Yeah. Yeah, the only downside for me with playing Labyrinth is like, doesn't really support the frogs very well, because it kind of hinders the frog strategy a little bit, since you're wanting to go into like rank 2 exceeds with the frogs, and not a lot of the good ones are like fiends. I know the new trap kind of makes it so that it's not as bad, but still it's kind of annoying. Like, it's better to play it pure, I think. I think that's the meta, basically playing it mostly pure. Okay, so now I have to... Could go for 1-for-1, but I don't think it's gonna really help that much. Yeah, I think I might have... Actually, no. This is why I run it, because this will allow me to special summon something. Special summon a 6 samurai from my graveyard. So that's good. This one's the one I need. Yeah. So it actually did come in handy. So that's good. And if I do the Khazar, I think I will be able to add something this time. Yeah. Yeah. So I think if I banish those two, and now I can special summon the Khazar, and I should be able to add something else. I think it's too late for this one. So I'm just gonna, but I'll still do this. Maybe just in case. Okay, so now what I can do is I can go for the Battle Shogun. Okay, so now I'll discard probably the legendary. That can probably act as fodder. Yeah. And then I'll go for the Shien's Dojo. Actually, maybe the Temple of the Six. Hard to say. I think Temple of the Six. Oh wait, no, my opponent's gonna negate whichever one I... Oh well, I have multiple Shien Spies, so I can probably just use this up. But my opponent might not negate it. Hard to say. I guess I'll go with Temple of the Six, because I'm just looking for one that places counters. I'll go with Shien's Dojo. Okay, so now what I can do... I don't know if I want to risk it, because I'm not sure if my opponent would necessarily negate it. You know what? Ah, man, this stinks. My opponent might not even negate it because, I mean, of course, there's no reason why they would, but I don't know how the AI works in this case. I guess I'll just go ahead and do this one, I guess. Oh well. It really doesn't matter. See, the cool thing about Gateway, which is what makes the loop keep going, is that I can remove counters from anywhere, as long as it's my field. I think I need to go into Shadow. I think that's the best way to do it. I think technically though. Oh wait, but then my opponent can just... Oh, they can just destroy... it's fine. I basically just need one more. Yeah, this will work. Oh, actually, I can also give one of my 6 samurais extra attack, but I don't think I want to do that. I mainly just focus on the 4 and the 6. Okay, so I'm gonna go for Grandmaster now. Actually, I guess I could. I wonder if I should try it. No, I don't need to, because I can just... Yeah, this is what I can do right here. Shadow. That way it has 2500, so it has exactly enough. But I need to get... Actually, and now I can use Shadow to make this guy become enough attack to get through this one. Oh wait, but this also has a destroy by battle effect, which stinks. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Oh wow, and now it has 2500. That's cool. Okay, so pretty much have to remove, go for one more special summon, and then this way, yeah, focus on the deck first. Focusing on the deck first. There we go. And now I'll be able to, because I don't care about my battle phase with this strategy. Yeah, it's fine. So first, I'll take care of these. Oh yeah. Attacking monster loses. Oh yeah, I forgot it loses attack. Dang it. Loses 500. But that doesn't matter. This is gonna be just to kill off both. That's unfortunate, though. Whatever. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, I guess... Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Dang it. It doesn't even keep the attack either. This stinks. I'm just gonna end. Man. Oh, this works both ways. That's kind of nice. Okay, I'm gonna have to do Bao Shogun here. I'll just discard an extra Xian Spy, guess. Guess I'll do Temple. Man. I still have one more Xian Spy though, technically. This is unfortunately just a once per turn. But that would get me an extra special summon. I think I'll go for it. Probably don't need this guy now. Yeah, get rid of those two. I will. Actually, I am kind of curious if my opponent will actually negate the Xian Spy. Are they dumb enough to do that? No. See, I didn't think so. Okay, let's just do the 1-for-1. I know they're gonna negate that. Yep. Okay, so at least my opponent's not dumb enough to negate the Xian Spy. So now I don't have to worry about it, and so now I can just activate both of these. I think I should be okay now. I think all I really need is 4 total. Because now I'm producing 6 each time. Man, I'm just messing up left and right. Man, you gotta kill me. 16 attack. Well, doesn't matter. I'll just try again next turn, I guess. At least I do get it back. Well, my opponent's just giving me counters here. I need to pay attention. Like, that, I definitely messed up there. Well, at least got rid of that one. Yeah, now I'm starting to accumulate counters. Oh, there's another one. Oh, wait. X-Saber Wayne. That's not as bad. Okay, now I can start this here. I'm just gonna have my opponent negate the upstart. Or not. Okay. Might as well do this one then. Yeah, boy. Probably banishing this. Don't really need her. And now banish. I can afford to banish the Grandmaster. I don't really need the Grandmaster at this point. Special summon the Kizaru. Kizaru will add. Yeah, I guess I can just go for another. Doesn't really matter. Just go for that. Okay. And then I'm just gonna move this. Move this. Okay. Yeah. Now I should be able to get the loop. Yeah, and then I can also just discard now. I'll just get another Shin's Dojo here. And then activate it once I can. But for now, adding another 6 Samurai here. This time I might as well go for the one that will just go for... Oh, I banished. Must have banished it. Yeah, I banished both my copies. That's okay though. Guess I'll just go for this one instead. Okay, now I can do... Isn't quite going to be... That's okay. Okay. So now before I better go for another one here. Better add back the Link guy. Okay. I'll add back him. Oh, and now what I need is the... But luckily, this one will actually get it from the deck. So that's at least nice. Technically, I can just go into battle now. Get rid of the legendary. I definitely have more than enough now. Yes, I'm gonna... When a 6 Samurai monster is attacked. So I'm gonna try getting rid of the Shien. Good. Okay, good. I got rid of the Shien. Good, I also got rid of him. Not that it really mattered. Okay, but now I don't have to worry about this being negated. So that's really good. Well, unless my opponent... Okay, they didn't. Which is very good. So now I basically get to go into a free battle show. Again, I don't want to use up the tuna. That will at least constitute one of my synchros. Probably the TG Hyper Liberian. At this point I can probably go into it without worrying. And what's best is like there is a good spot to place TG Hyper Liberian, which is either right here or right here, because that way it doesn't get in the way of Battle Shogun. Doesn't really matter too much if you mess up there, but like something to think about. Anyway. Oh. I messed up again, but luckily I have multiple counter instances. Yeah, this should be okay. So I'll go ahead and grab this one back. Yeah, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take counters off of this. Put this back. I need to get out that tuner Shien, so I'm gonna have to use up a Shien's Dojo here, so I can special summon this out of the deck. I messed up a little bit. That's okay. Just go into this now. I think I have more than enough counters at this point. And now I can just negate the back row here. If I need to. Ooh, there's another one. The thing about the United is you need to be careful because this can only give itself, have 2 at max. So just be a little careful with that. But that helps make up for the fact that I had to use up the Shien's Dojo to get out the Shien Squire. And now the reason, you want to make sure you're not putting the Shien Squire to where the Battle Shogun is. What I can do here is take off 6 counters. Yeah, because the Battle Shogun only gains counters for a 6 samurai. And of course the Shien Squire does not count as a 6 samurai. So it's probably best to place it right there, so it definitely won't get in the way. Although I'm going into a synchro with it right away anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so now I can go for this guy, which is why I don't really need the Grandmaster, because really a level 4 and level 1 is what I care about. So now I can just go for this guy. And now I can just go for this one right away. As long as it has 1 or less, I'm fine. The United. Not really using it for the draw, just to have it gain counters. Yep, and then that gets me another draw. I'm basically waiting to get my 3rd Shien's Dojo, because I already used up 2. Hopefully it's not on the very bottom, that would really stink. I might as well use the Shien Smoke Signal at this point, just to get the last card on my deck. Even if it is the last card, I don't have to worry about it, because I'm just going to give my opponent the Hyper Librarian right away, so that they start drawing cards. Well, it's just adding it, so it doesn't matter. But I want to... Yeah, it's really important to have that I have at least 2, that I always have 2 of these links at all times. I don't really want to get rid of these synchros either. Anything else. And of course, the Kaizen matters, but maybe like only really need 1. But still, I'd rather not get rid of them if I don't have to. Okay, so now what I should do first is go into another Battle Shogun. Technically, you can also utilize a much easier loop just to get the Battle Shogun up to incredible attack and win that way. but I'd rather just do it this way. So now what I can do here... Oh yeah, I gotta get rid of counters now. So I might as well do the 6 to bring out my level 1 Xian guy. Oh yeah, and one thing you want to make sure, not only do you want to make sure that the United always has 1 or less counters on it at all times, pretty much, but also you want to make sure before you're going into another Battle Shogun to use up all the counters on this one. This point probably doesn't matter, but still. Good things to think about, I would say. So now I can go into another Xian. And I always have one on the field at all times, just in case this card is actually something bad. But it doesn't look like it is. And now I might as well do Upstart. And Xian's doesn't have a target, but that's okay. So I basically like to focus on trying to drain counters off the ones that I'm gonna either has a limit to the counters or I'm just gonna be using again at some point. Just in case I forget, it's a good idea. Of course, at this point, it doesn't even matter. So just gonna go for those 2. It's nice that the link also counts as a 6 samurai. Yeah, so now what I can do, I'll just remove 6 counters now. Doesn't really matter much. Sometimes it may matter the order a little bit, but at this point I have so many counters that doesn't matter the order in which I grab the certain resource. And then I can get back the level 4 guy. Actually, I need to grab back the Xian since I ran out. But I can still just grab back the level 4 guy now. Yeah, I think basically having 3 of these Gateway and then 2 of these guys along with the Battle Shogun, I think that's basically a magic number. So now I can go for this guy. As long as you're not careless with your resources, there should be plenty. There you go. There's another draw. It's a little slow, as I said, but it gets the job done. Monster Reborn. Anyway. Dang, about the craziness of the loop. Yeah, I really like the loop. It's so fun. Okay, now I can put down another one. Yeah, for real. Yeah, the loops. Once you get going, it's so fun to just keep it going. I'm just trying to get to that Xian Spy so I can give my opponent the Hyper Librarian. Also to show off that, yes, the Hyper Librarian, my opponent is forced to activate it, and it does work for either side. It works even if my opponent's not the one doing Synchro Summons. Just to show off that, because maybe not everyone knows either. Anyway. Yeah, this was more for just checking out a few of the reasons you might want to loop with the Legendary 6 Samurais and what you can do with that kind of infinite loop. Yeah, you can even do an infinite draw style Hyper Librarian loop with this deck. It's so fun. And I also need to get back the Xian. Okay, good. And then now I can go for the tuna. Okay, so now I can go for the Kaizen. Yeah, definitely I'm glad I'm like splitting this up into 3 parts. I thought it would take a bit. Okay, there's Xian. Unfortunately, there's no way to get infinite draws with like infinite level 4s. So that is a little unfortunate. So this is pretty much, I think, the best way to get infinite draws. Does make it a little annoying that there's no... that the 6 counters... There's no Xian 6 Samurais tuna. If there was, this would... It would mean that, like, you don't go negative every time you do that 6 counter one. Then again, maybe they did on purpose because they don't want you getting infinite draws super easily. Okay, anyway. Use up the counters on this since I'm going to be going into another one. Oh. Well, that's okay. It doesn't really matter what order I do it in. I can just do it now. I need to get him out anyway. Yeah, so I need to put the link back. Yeah, I only have 2 of the link. Otherwise, I could have done 3, but it works just fine with 2. And luckily, even if your opponent like destroys stuff, like Isai could make a comeback still. So it is pretty resilient. It can be pretty resilient too, as long as my opponent didn't do too much, of course. But yeah, we're still able to make a comeback and pull it off. So now what I can do... basically put this one back. Yeah, now I can just go for the Bao Shogun. Okay, so now I can go for the Sinker again. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, now the next draw. Dang. I really need to get... I have 9 left, so I'm coming close to the Xian's dojo. Okay, so here we go. The link again. Might as well go for the link. Okay, so now I can go for this. Probably put back the synchro. Doesn't really matter the order at this point. No. Okay. Now that I put back the synchro, I can go for the Xian, or the Kaizen rather. Here we go, Kaizen, and then go for 6 counters. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now I can go for this Xian again. Technically, I think you can still get this done with just 1 Xian. But yeah, you definitely need 2 of the link, as you can see. Okay, so now I can go for the reinforcement. Clear out my deck a little more. Fire Flint Lady. Don't really need special summon that, of course. So now I can just remove the 2 off of Battle Shogun. Get out the other Battle Shogun here. Go back into that. Okay. Here we go. 4 counters. Oh, my computer's about to die. I need to make sure it doesn't. It's not live. Okay, now it is again. It's so much easier doing it that way. Okay, and then I can add the Legendary 6 Samurai back. 6 counters, sure. Here we go. Okay, so now this guy. Okay, and now I can go for the Xian again. Get another draw. Ah, no, it's still not it. Okay. That's fine. Besides, I think it's bad to split up anyway, because these, the way to get to the win conditions is pretty much always going to be the same. Just slightly different at the very end. Anyway. Let's go for Battle Shogun here. Okay, there we go. Now the Xian. Okay, and now I can special summon out the tuna. Yeah, and basically the link makes it so that, pretty much makes it so that like it makes it so you can consistently get to it as long as you have enough time. But usually you're not gonna have the time needed. In ranked, that's why solo mode is nice, to be able to try out these things. Because your opponent's probably not going to give you nearly enough. And they could probably just hand trap you before you're able to actually get the loop going. Even if you were lucky enough. So there's a lot of things that an opponent rank can hamper you. A lot of reasons why they would. Anyway, Sheehan here. Here we go, another draw. Is it gonna be Sheehan's Spy? It's anyone's guess. Okay, one day of peace. That gets me into another draw. Ooh, there's a dojo. Now I have another form of, and all I really need is one spell slot. And even if these were all taken, I could just do the United as long as I had enough cards in deck. So yeah, now okay, add back this guy, go for him again. Special. Okay, now I can go the loop again. Okay, get back the Sheehan. 6 counters now to get the tuna. And then I can go for the Kaizen. So anyone's guess if this next card is going to be the Sheehan's Spy. Okay. There we go. Okay, now I can give my opponent the TG Hyper Librarian. And doesn't negate the effects. So that's good. Okay, so now I'll just continue doing it until I deck my opponent out. Wow, that's gonna take a little bit. So I'll put back this guy. Okay. So now I can put back this one. 6 counters now. Special summon. And then get back the Kaizen. Okay, here's Kaizen. Now I'll go for the Synchro Summon. Which will cause my opponent to draw a card. Here we go. My opponent draws a card now. There we go. Yep, they did. Okay. So now I start the loop over again. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'll put this back. Six counters. Yeah, see, and the only reason why they're activating the Hyper Liberian is because it's forced. So they don't have any choice but to activate it. And of course, also, like, this would take a while to pull off, so it's not very good to play something like this in ranked. The others are gonna be slightly faster, because, like, really, I'm just focused on... This one is kind of taking a while, because I may have to go through both decks in a way, because once I get to the Dojo, I basically have to keep going until my opponent draws all their cards. So that makes it take, like, basically double the time. But as you can see with the other decks, it's basically only going through one deck. Okay. And then back that. I won't even pay attention because eventually it'll happen. Might as well not even look. Okay. Hold on for just a second. Hold on. Oh, I know what that is for. Okay. Okay. Here we go, another 4 counters. Well, I'm gonna need to add this back at some point. Anyway. So now I can do 6. Okay. Okay, here's another synchro. Okay. 4. Yeah, I'm gonna need to add back Kaizen at some point anyway. Okay, 6. Okay. Okay, so now I need to add back the Shein. Oh yeah, and also you just run out of time if you tried this in ranked. I wasn't even thinking about that too. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'll put back this guy. Take out the tuner. Here's the tuner. Here, hold on. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I'll be back in a second. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back now. Here, there's something I accidentally messed up on. I almost finished the deck. Do you have maybe a card monster that would be the best that could fit in any deck? I mean, they are level 8, so maybe you could try putting in a rank 8 monster. Of course, Zeus goes nicely. You just need to pair with like a rank 8 Exceed. Hope Harbinger isn't a bad one. Oh yeah, and Chaos Angel is a pretty nice fit. I saw that. You can treat one. The only thing about, yeah, and then you can technically just use 2 docks for this, for Chaos Angel, so you don't even need a light if you didn't want to put in lights. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna change the verse because I forgot. Here, someone suggested a verse. So instead of doing the verse I put, I'm gonna instead do this verse, which was suggested by, I forget who suggested this, but if you come in, you can let me know that you're the one. I think it was like Owl something. I don't know. I think it was Owl something. But yeah, anyway, if anyone else wants to suggest any verses or wants to like do a discussion or has any questions while because I'm pretty much just doing the same thing over and over again, so I can easily concentrate. Be able to concentrate on that kind of thing. Oh yeah, and technically I think you could get up to infinite counters with this as well, so maybe you do something with that. If you really want to. Yeah, good. And also that makes sure that's still showing. Wow. It's easy for it to get off live for me for some reason. Crazy. Anyway. Sometimes I think sometimes if it's not on live, kind of messes up a little bit, but I like having on here so I can see the chat, and it's muted, so that's good, so that you won't be hearing my voice twice. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, none of the Cincos will be speeding up the Hyper Liberian draw. So now it's kind of just, I kind of just gotta go about the long way. Now the Kaizans. Now I can go for the Link. What you could maybe do is you could try like putting in the Chronomalies, because I know a few of the Chronomalies can like deal damage equal to the difference between like original attack and like what an attack is now. And so like you could combine that with the Temple of 6, get a monster all the way down to 0. I'm not sure if you can target one of your own. Maybe you could get one of your own monsters up really high and then maybe inflict damage that way. But I don't know. I mean, maybe for one of the other ones, I know the opponent plays Temple of the 6 too, so maybe you could do it that way. Oh wait, no, this only lowers attack. But maybe if they had a Battle Shogun themselves. Oh, I don't know. I didn't decide to do it that way, but that's an idea as well. So, I'm gonna need to put back the link anyway. Okay. The link, here it is. Now I can go for the Synchro Summon again. Okay. So there's another Synchro Summon. I tried reading Ready Player One, but it has quite a few swears in it. I told you about it last time, but I kind of got over it once I saw like it has like quite a few, like not a ton, but like I didn't really want to read it. I kind of got past it, so I was able to return it for a credit on Audible, which was nice. And I just decided to get the Harry Potter book instead, and now I'm just like reading through the complete collection of the Narnia that I have. I'm not sure if it's still available on Audible, but that's a pretty nice thing to get for 1 credit. I think it is. The books by themselves aren't very long, but when there's all like 7, I think it is, when there's all 7 in the book, then it makes it like a pretty good length. And Narnia is like not a bad read anyway. Like, there's a lot of books on there that, like, I'm not sure if they'd be good or not reads, but I'm more focused on getting enjoyable reads. But I think, like, Narnia is both a pretty good deal and it's a pretty enjoyable read, too. So that's probably one of the better bundles. But yeah, of course, like, the rest may be on, like, preference. It's always, like, preference to not necessarily the best to get a bundle if it's not going to be enjoyable. What I'm thinking I'm probably going to try doing is maybe like rereading books. But also, I think what I'm going to try doing is like getting out Goosebumps books, because I know they don't take very long, and then once I'm finished with them, I can like return them. I think I will keep the depending on how much it's gonna be with my student savings, maybe I'll like go for the Audible not free trial. I don't know. Still thinking about it. Go for this. Yeah, if anyone has any other ideas, I'm probably not going to use them because I already got the decks together. If anyone has any other ideas for how you could utilize the loop in a fun way for 6 Samurai, then yeah, you can like feel free to shout them out. I'll shout that out also. Yeah, so now I can do this. I'm not sure how that one card works, if it's like, I think it's only when a spell is activated, so unfortunately that won't work there. When a spell is activated, gain 5 in life points. I don't think it's going to be super easy to make that work with this deck, to gain a whole bunch of life points and do something with a whole bunch of life points. But yeah. Go. It's another synchro. Another draw. Okay. How cards? Oh, 21? Wow. Maybe I could have put in more cards. Maybe card destruction could be good. Just to make it go a little faster, but I didn't think about like what I would do once I get to this part. I just knew eventually they deck themselves out with Hyper Librarian. Pretty much gonna need to put this back. You know what? I guess I can do it like this. Okay, so now putting back the link, I'm gonna need to put it back anyway. 6 counters. Here we go. Kaizen. Okay. Okay, so now so now I can go for this. Oh. Whatever, it's fine. I already added Kaizen. Okay, here we go. 6 counters. There we go. $18. Okay. Guess that's something. I really didn't. Okay. Okay, anyway, sorry. Okay. Still have the Lincoln Graveyard. Okay. Oh wait, actually I can do this. Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think it's pretty much gonna be slow no matter what. Okay, there's another synchro. Another draw. Oh, you know what? I need to remember. Keep forgetting that I already have the link. Whatever. Whatever, right here. It's fine. Now I can use 6 counters. Okay. So even if I don't go back at all, like, apparently, like, doesn't stand live for me. That's interesting. Okay, so I put back the synchro. I might as well put back the link now too. Okay, here we go. There we go. Sheehan. Draw. Okay. Go for the link. Oh wait. I better do the 6 counters here. Maybe if I put it off, I don't know if that's gonna help or not. Ah, I messed up. Whatever, kites. Go. Put the link back. Okay. How many more? 15? Okay. I guess it's getting there. It's getting there. Ah. Oh wait, I can just use 6 counters. So now I need to remember, go for the link first. Here we go. Yeah, what's nice is that the Battle Shogun can use itself as material for the link summon of another Battle Shogun. Okay. So yeah. Now I can add back the synchro. And then might as well add back the link too. Okay, now I have it to when. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, and now I'm good. Okay. Six here. Yeah, you can probably definitely do something with like infinite counters, though. I think you might be able to do something with infinite Bushido counters. Not sure if there's like any cards that say like remove a certain number of counters to do something, but maybe, maybe not, I don't know. Technically this also counts as a tuner. So there are synchro tuners, but like eventually you'll run out of those. So you so you basically need to do it this way. I think this is pretty much the only way to basically pull off the infinite draw. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now getting the link back. Now I can get the Kaizen back. Oh yeah, and I found some eardrops, that's good, so I had a little bit of a problem with that, but I think they feel a little bit better now. Luckily my sister had some that I could borrow, that she wasn't really using much anymore, so that's good. Anyway. Here's the synchro, and then the link, and then the Xian, okay. Okay, here we go. How many more cards? 12? Okay, that's not too bad. They're getting there. My opponent's getting there now. So I already have the link in there, so. Okay, here we go. Now I can put the synchro and the link back. Okay. Shouldn't be too much longer. My opponent's down to 12 cards in the deck now. Okay. add back Kaizen, go for Link. Okay, now go for Synchro. Put it back. Also put back the Link. Okay, there's a Link. And now I can go ahead and do the special summon. Cool. Another Synchro. Yeah, and what's nice about the Xian Spy is that it gives my opponent the hyper while also removing hyper from my field, so I don't have to worry about decking myself out at this point. Link. Yeah, I'm just gonna finish it off with a verse. I'm sorry for those who were looking forward. I know I haven't been doing Goosebumps in a little bit or opening packs, but I'll get back to those eventually. Maybe I can at least do a pack. I don't know. I kind of have like, I'm kind of a little busy with a few things as well, so I kind of don't want this stream to go on too long. A few like festival related things. I still want to try to get it done on one of my alternate accounts, just because it. I don't know how far I'm going with my alternate account though. I am almost done with the solo mode though, so I can like, so hopefully next video I can tell you like how many, based on my calculations, how many gems total you can get from solo mode. Also, one thing that I was a little surprised about that I forgot about is like how few gems you actually get from the SP deck challenge. Like, it seems so cool, but then there's only like basically one duel you actually get gems from, and you don't get any gems from the SP deck challenge too. I think I might have actually remembered that, but it's kind of interesting going back and seeing like where I actually turn out to be wrong about that, what I forgot about. Oh, I didn't summon the... Well, I don't think that's a problem. I just gave up one count. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. As long as I don't keep doing that. Where is it now? Okay, good. Now it's less than 10. Okay, got my opponent to less than 10 now. See, if I had card destruction, I could just deck them out already, but... And whatever. Definitely would be... Might as well just stick it through. At this point. Okay, here we go. Now I can go for another Link summon. Yeah. Yeah, if only there was like a TG Hyper Librarian. But yeah, that would probably be way too Like, I mean, it was probably already a mistake, it turns out, to make a TG Hyper Librarian for Synchros. Of course, like, that's the whole reason why they made the Worm guy a little less powerful. The one that, like, you only get to draw once per turn. That's the whole reason why they have that now. So yeah, they're probably not going to be adding TG Hyper Librarian as cards for the X-Dex summons anytime soon. Because there's probably already a mistake with the Hyper Librarian. Especially when you can do cool things like this. But I know there's a lot of like other actual like really good things they could do with that. At least they have the Hyper Librarian. At least they have something. Yeah, but I talked to my friend a little bit yesterday, and it's unfortunate that the Lacana deck, like, that they don't have like one where you just buy the star deck by itself, or they have an option where you could buy it and also get the booster pack. It's too bad they don't have the option between the two. Like, it's you're either forced to do one or the other. But yeah, I told him about like how I liked Proxy, and he was like, that sounds pretty cool, I think I'll try it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm getting back an extra Kaizen now, but that's okay. Now I can do this. Here we go. Synchro summon. Oh wait, no, I want to wait first. Yeah, I better do the 6. Here we go. Now I can just go for that again. Okay, here we go. Now I can get the Synchron Link back. Hey, New Blitz! I'm showing off the 6 Samurais now. I know that you like to try out the 6 Samurais a little bit. I'm just trying to win by giving my opponent Hyper Librarian with the Xian Spy, and now I just need to deck them out. It's fun because, like, unfortunately with, like, if you give them something like Max C, they won't know how to activate it. But my opponent's forced to activate Hyper Librarian, so they don't have a choice with that matter. Anyway. Yeah, now I can add back the Kaizen. There's probably a lot of different fun directions you could go with this 6 Samurai, but I mostly decided to focus on the Hyper Librarian route. As I thought, it does take a little while to do all this, so I think in an effort to also make it so that it doesn't feel quite samey, I'll like split it up. Because like basically it's kind of the same, but like with different win conditions every time. This one is probably longest win condition since I had to both go through my deck to get to the dojo. I mean, to get to the Xian Spy. Also, Xian Spy is kind of flavorful. I didn't even think of that. Xian Spy is kind of flavorful because it's like another 6 Samurai-esque card because of the Xian thing. So that's kind of cool. I didn't even really think of that at first. It's kind of cool that works out like that though. Anyway, I completely finished, as I was saying earlier, I completely finished up the festival, including the missions for this account, so now I just need to do it for my alternate, basically. I can at least make a really good looking sword soul for that deck. For this, for that account. For this account, I basically went with Salamangrates. I tried Sword Soul, but like I didn't really have a lot of the good cards, so I went with Salamangre instead. Also, it gave me something different to play. Yeah. So now I can put the proper monsters back. Link and Synchro. Okay, here we go. How many cards now? Okay, getting there. Yeah, I had to get myself quite a ways down. I technically could have probably done it earlier, but I kind of wasted my first 2 Xian's Dojo. And of course, the last Xian's Dojo ended up being like the 4th card to last. Of course, I'm playing exactly 40 so that I don't have to go so much through my deck. Anyway, now I can add back the Kaizen. Okay. Yeah, you want to always use the link for the link summon of the next link. I mean, technically I have other links, I can rectify it, but want to try it against that habit, basically. That's another habit if you're playing a loop to want to try to get into. Yeah, basically the link basically makes it so that you're guaranteed to just pretty much loop forever at some point. Even this way. So the link was really a really good add for this deck. Okay. Now 6 counters, because this is the only way to be able to do the synchro play. A little unfortunate. And at least this way, by basically only putting in a few different cards every time, it doesn't cost a whole bunch of materials to make a bunch of different decks. So that's kind of good. Saves a little bit on crafting material, since I kind of need to get my gem supply a little bit up again. Although I did have to craft a second Bao Shogun. of the 6 samurai. I think besides that, I have most everything else. I did craft a second legendary secret of 6 samurai though, which probably wasn't like that necessary, but as I want to do that. But pretty much everything else I think I already had from my time spent like opening the 6 samurai packs. Oh yeah, and I did also craft another United, which I think is still good anyway. Good choice anyway. Yeah, so now we can get back to Kaizen. Okay. That's so I like take off all the counters from the United and the Bao Shogun. Okay, now I can put the 2 X deck monsters back. Yeah, you want to be careful you're paying a little bit of attention, because like that 2 counters thing is always the first thing that it defaults to. And using that enough times will make it so that you eventually lose all your counters. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. Last 4 now. Okay, so just 5 more draws to death. Okay, here we go. So I can start doing a countdown now, since we're getting real close. Putting the Kaizen back in the hand. Oh yeah. Going for the link. Okay. Okay. Both of those. Six counters now. Going for another Shien. Here we go. So this should be 4 draws to death now. Or no, it's still 5. So now it's 4 draws to death. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Okay. Wow, almost at 9,000 now. here we go. Almost within meme category with the Bauer Shogun. Man. Here we go, 6 counters. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now 3 draws, or yeah, now it's gonna be 3 draws to death. Okay, 3 draws to death. Here we go. Is it gonna be time? The meme? Not quite, not quite. Next time though. Okay. You got done doing the Synchro Link Festival? That's cool. Yeah, by the way, oh, you made a new vid? That's cool. Maybe I can also... You can, share the link here if you want, and then I can do the thing again where, like, maybe I show it off, since there are still maybe people trying to get the event done since the Synchro Link Festival is still going on. Otherwise, I could probably just look it up myself and just, like... Oh, yeah, by the way, this time, can you let me know, like, just making sure, like, the video's, like, family-friendly, right? Like, it's, like, no, like, no, like, strong language or anything like that. Because, like, I'm basically trying to keep my channel family-friendly. I'm just, like, making sure. Anyway. I kind of messed up again. Put the Kaizen in the wrong spot. Dang. Okay, here it is. Here we go. So now it's gonna be 2 draws to death. Yep, 2 draws to death now. Starting now. There's only one scene with 1 swear, but that's it. Oh yeah, so kind of like that other one. Yeah, as long as it's like... It's not the F word though, right? Like, I don't really care too much if it's not the F word. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to, like, give out a little warning. Because I don't think, like, a lot of people really care about that. I think it's mostly the F word that, like, people start to. It's all fine. But it's in a needed scene. Yeah, but is it... No, but you didn't answer my question. Is it the F word or just a different one? Because I think that's the biggest swear that a lot of, like, that maybe, like, parents get cautious about. No F word. Okay, yeah, then that's good. Oh, yeah, here we go. It's over 9,000 now. There we go. How about that? That's cool. I was able to reach that threshold as well. Of course, it's not going to stay at that, but it was there for a second. Okay. So I may make sure that's listed in the comments once I make this into a video as well. But if anyone wants to click on it now, who comes in, that is for the Synchro and Link Festival. Maybe some other decks. Because I know I pretty much only showed off the Sword Soul, but that way you can maybe get a few other decks. In case you don't really want to play Sword Soul. There's no Sword Soul is probably one of the ones that look into it before you do. I'm sure it'll be fine. I trust you. And I looked into the other one, yeah, it wasn't even bad. That one wasn't bad either. Yeah, usually I only really do a warning if there's like strong language. Kind of like how video games does it. Like, I mean, video games probably still put up a warning for language, but like, I mean, I don't know, like they can, since video games consider the F word strong language, if it's big enough for video games to consider that word strong language, that's what people basically deem. I don't know. Yeah. Basically going more or less by like how, like, by like what's strong enough for like video games to deem something maybe like MA versus like teen or something. Although there are also quite a few video games that don't have any language at all, which is, or like any strong language at all, which is really cool. Like, I'm playing the first Mass Effect. That's like the only Mass Effect without any strong language. So I'm just playing that just so I can get a feel, and then I'm just stopping there. But I am glad that Bluey came to Game Pass. That's pretty fun. I know my sister wants to see me play that, so. And I was wondering if I should just buy it or not. And now I'm glad I didn't. Okay, here we go. Now what I can do is I can just go for the synchro and skip all the steps. See, like, there are two ways to do this. Either basically end the turn now and let your opponent deck themselves out, or you can just cause the deck out right away. I think I'm just gonna cause it right away. Yeah, I'm just gonna cause it right away. I'm just gonna do this one because I have enough cards to survive this draw. And let's see which. I think I'm gonna get the draw first, or maybe it's my opponent. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Here we go. Yeah, oh, no, it's, you may. Okay. Well, that's nice. I don't even have to. There we go. There's the deck out. Opponent ran out of cards in the deck and could not draw. Nice. I could have probably gotten that done sooner if I would have done things, but I kind of got a little bit annoyed with my opponent having Shogun, not the Shogun, the Shien, the Synchro Shien, that was stopping my one of my first spells or traps. Though I did like it for an experiment, seeing if they would actually negate a Shien Spy, and of course they didn't. I wonder if they would have negated a Shien Spy to give them that TGI ability, and if my opponent wouldn't have thought about what I could have done with that by giving them that. I don't know. Maybe they just won't negate Xian Spy at all, because, like, they're getting something free, so why not negate the Xian Spy? But of course, like, first oppressive Spiral Trap, I think they basically negate no matter what it is. Anyway, there's that. I'm gonna stop. But I do need to do the... Yeah, I'm just gonna do the verse and end it. I want to get to my other things. So the verse today is coming courtesy of whoever suggested John 3:16. I forget who it was. I think it was someone by the name of Koala. I guess I'll look it up. Like, there's an easy way to check. Hold on, just take a second so I can give the proper credit where credit's due. Especially since this is the very first time someone actually took me up on the offer. So, oh yeah, I was close. It was Panda TFDC. I knew it had something to do with a bear. Okay, anyway. Here we go. Make sure it's live again. Make sure I'm still on. Okay, good. I'm still on. Okay, now I'll go through the verse and I'll end it. Oh yeah, by the way, if you enjoy my content real quick, please, as a reminder, like, share, and subscribe. Consider ringing that notification bell. And you can ring it for all my content or just some of my content, which is especially going to be useful if you want to take a little bit of a break. If I'm on a game that you necessarily don't like as much and waiting for me to get to a game that interests you more, like, you can always do that. And even if it takes a while, I'm not exactly sure how the personalized works, but, like, it probably would help and then you can just check back from time to time. I will also put in the community post when I'm about to get to another game too. But yeah, I'm pretty much sticking to one game, and then, like, once I get done with that game, going to another game, maybe coming back to a game that maybe has some new content after a little bit of time, but I don't know. To think about it. And if you want to support me in a little bit of a more financially positive way, that's still a little indirect, you can click on one of my affiliate links. I see people have been clicking on it, so I'm glad it's still working. I'm sorry the coupon one doesn't work, but maybe eventually I can find a different kind of video game affiliate link website, since I think that would kind of fit my channel as well, especially when I get to new video games. And since I've already done video games besides just Master in the past. Anyway, and of course I'll let you guys know when I am starting to get some money rolling in with that. Anyway, I'll go through the verse now, and then I can do my thank yous through the rest of the stream wrap-up. So here it is. So here's the verse. It's but to all who did... Oh wait, no, it's not this one. It's John 3:16. I pretty much remember this verse already. This is like one of the more popular verses. Yeah, so of course John 3:16. Maybe I can check to see how YouVersion puts it. I don't know, I'm kind of curious. So here we go. Oh, they don't have their little... Oh wait, they do have a few verse images. That's cool. So if you, like, look look up John 3:16 YouVersion, you should find it. It's also known as Bible.com, in case you're wondering. And they do have a few images too. Maybe I'll read one of the images. Here we go. Here's a good image. So first I'll read it based on the New International Version. That's what YouVersion's using here. For God so loved the world. And then I can also look at different versions. Maybe I can do one other version and then say what the image says. So here it is based on New International Version. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, but whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. And now I read Amplified Bible version, which is maybe one of the lesser known translations. For God so, in brackets it says, greatly loved and dearly prized the world that he, it's using a few brackets too, that he even gave his one and only begotten Son, so that whoever believes and trusts in him as Savior shall not perish but have eternal life. So that's a little bit of a different look at the verse, but basically getting the same meaning across. And here's YouVersion's take on it, or at least one of them. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. I think that's pretty close to the New International Version translation, which is basically what they do. They take like a translation, they make it like close, maybe like taking a few like more of the unnecessary words. Anyway, but like most of the words for this one are pretty necessary, I would say. So yeah, basically, yeah, this is a pretty popular verse, so I can see why Panda would want me to share it. Hopefully Panda does see this, because Panda can see that I actually did do the verse as promised. But anyway, actually here, what I need to do here, before I start, I'm going to say 2 hours and 30 minutes is when I do the Bible verse discussion. Might be a little off, but I think that's about right. Anyway, here it is. Okay. So my take on this verse is that God loved us so much that he no longer made it so that we had to offer sacrifices with because he knew that like people would probably get tired of that, especially and some people may not even really be enjoying that all too much, like the ones who are more into loving animals instead of sacrificing them. I think you can technically still do it if you want to, but it's not a requirement. I don't know if God would take offense if you did still do sacrificing to him occasionally, just just to like show your love and in remembrance of the Bible times. I'm not sure if that is technically a bad thing to do at this point, but you definitely don't have to. So I don't know, like that's just something that came to my mind. Maybe if anyone like wants to like let me know like what they think, like would it technically be wrong? Like is it technically kind of going against like his whole purpose? Like, or as long as you're doing it just saying like I'm doing it because I want to, I know I don't have to, but I want to, is it technically still okay, or should you just not do it at all? I don't know. I'm not sure if he necessarily likes it though, like at this point, like, because also like these are supposed to be his creations. So I don't know if he finds it wrong at this point or not. I think that's a good question. Maybe if anyone wants to have a discussion on that, like, what do you think about the morality or ethicality at this point of like doing like animal sacrifices, or maybe like just like yeast sacrifices, like sacrificing maybe like some yeast, if you still want to like kind of follow what the Israelites did back in the day. Like, is it still fine, or would Jesus have a problem with that? I don't know. I think it could go either way. Like, I think there's definitely like on the one hand, yeah, you don't need to, because Jesus did die on the cross, and you might be, it might not be good, since you are like killing off some of his creation, but you're doing it like for what you believe is a good cause, and you're doing it in remembrance of what the Israelites did. So I don't know. There's definitely like pros and cons. It could go either way, I think. Anyway, yeah, so the rest of this verse says, like, now it doesn't take a sacrifice, it simply takes a prayer of surrender. I mean, either way, you still want to do that. Either way, you still definitely want to do the prayer of surrenderance. Even if you're kind of still, like, trying to, like, do a few things in remembrance of what the Israelites did for God, you still want to definitely do the prayer of surrenderance, so you have that as well. Like, anything else, like, you're pretty much doing as just an extra way of showing that you love God. The important thing is that you're praying that prayer of surrenderance, and if you don't know what exactly that would look like, you can always look it up. Like, I can prove it to you. Prayer of surrenderance, and I'm guessing it's gonna be the basically first. Actually, I think what you want to do, prayer of surrendering to God, maybe that's what you, yeah, so that's where you can type in. But if you want to make sure it's really right, maybe you can tack on Christianity, just so you make sure you have the right. Looks like it's like basic, and then there's also, like, if you have generative AI, I'm not sure if anyone has that, there's also a few good examples there as well. If McGrath Institute blog, here's one though. And then maybe, like, if you want to, like, read about it, maybe, like, I don't know, but yeah, if you look it up, basically prayer of surrendering to God, you should be able to find a good example. And really, any of the examples are probably going to work. Maybe I can, like, here, I'll go ahead and here, I'll take the first one and I can paste it into the, what I'll do, I'll just paste into here. Oh, dang. It's a little too long. Oh, well, you can just look it up. If anyone wants me to, I can always, like, you can always ask for it, and I can, like, give you a good example of one. If you want to, like, let me know in the comments if you're having trouble finding one. But anyway, that's my take on the verse. If anyone has his own take on it, you can feel free to let me know down in the comments. And I'm still working on also like turning the other live into video as well, part 181. I'll try to get to that whenever I can, and then I'll work on this one, making this one to a video. Anyway, bye everyone. I'm glad I started a little bit early too, because like now it's like kind of the perfect time to get lunch. Hope to see you all in the next Let's Play, which will be on Monday, and it'll be going over another 6 Samurai deck. That probably won't take nearly as long, because instead of like both finding a card and then decking my opponent out, I'll only have to find a few cards for my own deck. Just to give you a hint as to what I'm doing next. That's all the hint you're going to get, though. If you want to know more details, you're going to have to come to my next Let's Play. Oh yeah, and by the way, before I forget, I want to say thank you all. Thank you all for who commented. Thank you to New Blitz 74, and also thank you to New Blitz 74 to put for fresh. But yeah, thank you if anyone did leave, and thank you for anyone who will be leaving likes or comments down in the future for this video. Thank you in advance. Bye everyone. Good luck in the rest of the Synchro and Link Festival if you still need to get it done. Also, like either one of the festivals you still have time for. Oh yeah, and if anyone wants me to enter a code for them to help them out with the Sword of Souls, you can feel free to also let me know that down in the comments. I do have a few different systems and accounts that I can still utilize in order to do the code thing. So yeah, it might just take a little bit of time for me to get to the Bronze 4. Shouldn't take too long though. But of course, like I have other things right now, so I'm a little busy right now. But like I will definitely get to it. I'll try to get to it before the event ends, which I'm still not sure if when it does end. I'm not sure where I would see that. Bye everyone. Oh yeah, and remember, wait, no, I can't, yeah, no, it's fine. Or maybe if you guys want a few codes, I can always, like, leave you a few if you are a new player. Well, I basically just need to leave you one, since, that can be utilized by multiple people. Still not sure if you can get more than one sort of soul structure deck. I think that you technically can, though. If you're both a new player getting it once from entering a code, and then you're getting in, and then I think you can get it. So I think you can get double the rewards for some of the rewards, and double the structure deck reward, which is actually not bad, because like getting multiples of the at least a Chow is useful. That's really the only reason we want a second copy of the structure deck, so that you can just get another copy of Chow. Yeah. Okay. Well, bye everyone.